Arizona congressional candidate Blake Masters took a swipe at his Republican primary opponent Abe Hamada for not being married or having kids, claiming it shows his opponent does not have skin in the game. In a campaign video published Tuesday, Masters laid out his policy goals and what his campaign called the differences between him and Hamada. I want to bring big tech under heel. I want to stop Biden inflation. There's all these issues, Masters said. But the real reason, or a different cut on it anyway, is my family. I've got a wonderful wife and 4 beautiful boys. That's called skin in the game. What we don't need is someone with no wife and kids, no skin in the game. Later in the campaign video, Masters attempted to link Hamada to illegal immigration. Hamada, a former U.S. Army intelligence officer, is the son of Syrian immigrants. We don't need someone who supported amnesty in the past. We don't need someone who owes his entire existence in this country to illegal immigration. Jesus Christ, Masters said. Masters and Hamada are running in Arizona's 8th congressional district with hopes of replacing Representative Debbie Lesko, who announced last fall she would not run for re-election. Masters' campaign doubled down on his argument Wednesday after the Washington Post published an analysis of the candidates' comments. Reposting the link to the newspaper story, Masters' campaign wrote on the social media platform X. The Washington Post attacking Blake Masters for saying parents have skin in the game. When you have kids, it gives you an extra drive to create a better country for them. Nobody understands this more than BG Masters. Hamada shot back at Masters and pointed to the sacrifice he made while serving the U.S. Army Reserves. Like countless patriots who served our nation in uniform, I've made profound sacrifices, Hamada wrote in a statement to The Hill. Blake Masters' attack on my commitment to America simply because I've chosen service over personal life exposes his true character, a stark contrast to values we veterans hold dear. I am utterly disgusted by his attack, which undermines sacrifices made by all who have served. In a separate post on X, Hamada called Masters entitled, cowardly, and easily manipulated, arguing his opponent did not have the courage to serve his nation. Masters ran for Senate in 2022 and lost to incumbent Senator Mark Kelly. Prior to launching his House bid, it was speculated he would go for Senator Kirsten Sinema's seat. She has since announced she will not run for re-election. Man, these people just... So, listen. I'm sure I probably have 900 problems with Hamada and his political positions, but I think there's something... Like, we're living in a time where divorce rates are going up, marriage rates are going down, the people having kids is generally decreasing. And in that era of a steady decline of people with marriages and with children, you're going to insult this guy by saying, well, since he doesn't have a wife and kid like me, he doesn't have skin in the game. And it's really sad because it suggests that people who don't have these, I guess, created relationships are somehow lacking, because there's plenty of people that just don't want to have kids, they don't want to get married, that whatever. But it's asserting this idea that if someone doesn't have this thing that you chose to have, then they're like they're of a lesser value in terms of what they're able to understand and be sympathetic and fight for. And it all just goes back to this idea that if I don't personally have this, I must be lesser than the person who does have it. Like, I've never been in debt relating to going to college, but I support student loan forgiveness because I think it's really stupid to have to go to some school that costs thousands of dollars in an era where most people can't even afford $1,000 emergency. And then when you get out, hoping that the piece of paper changes your life, you have this anchor by your leg for the next 10 to 20 years. Just dumb pyramid scheme, scam crap like that I really despise. I have no intentions of ever becoming a teacher. But I think teachers across the board should get a raise because of all the work that they have to do. So the idea that just because someone doesn't fit in whatever particular group, they're not able to have empathy or sympathy, it's just really nasty and stupid. And honestly, I actually had more of a problem with that than Masters attacking him over talking about he owes his entire existence to illegal immigration. Because at least with that, like, I get the nativist stuff. Well, I don't get it in the sense that I agree with it. I get it as in when you run a Republican primary, any ties you have to immigration is like, you might as well be a confirmed gang member. But I'm actually more offended by the no wife and kids thing because it's just like when I was on Twitter and there was this one liberal account that was trying to make fun of Republicans like not having college degrees. Like, idiot, most people don't have college degrees. So, it's like you're going to attack them over something that most of us don't have. Uh, and then you're like surprised when you can't win elections, but it's that same thing of like you're getting more and more people who are not having either marriages or children, and you insult your opponent by saying because they don't have a wife or kids like I do, they don't they're of lesser ability to understand and be invested in the issues of the day. It's all just really nasty. And we know that you can have a wife and kids and still like be completely disgusting. I mean, take for example all the Republicans that are like 70, 80, 90 years old. They have grandkids and they're perfectly fine with the environment going to hell in a handbasket and not doing anything about climate change. Because they won't be around when the planet is unlivable. So it's just these attacks get way and way more insane. Like he talked about maybe two issues and then went into discussing personal life about his opponent. Just weird.